There's Yerushalmi Berachos Daf Chav Beis. Daf Yom Yerushalmi. So we started Chav Beis yesterday. We got a little into the top of Chav Beis up to the two dots, which is in the fourth line, and we're up to Tani Nichnas Berachos. So we'll take it from there. Tani Nichnas Berachos. When a person goes into the Berachos, a person goes to the bathhouse. Place where people stand dressed. You can learn and you can put on film there. You can say Shalom Aleichem there. No sin filling, you can put on film there. It goes out saying you don't have to take them off. Place where most people stand naked, you can't say Shalom Aleichem. Mikra utfila, and you certainly can't learn or put on tefillin. Because you have to take the tefillin off. Ain't so much like that. But you can't put it back there on there. Mix the solution when it's a mix. Some are dressed and some are naked. Yeshem she'esom, you can say Shalom Aleichem. Ve'en shalom mikra v'tefila, you can't learn and you can't daven. Ve'eino choletz tefila, it doesn't have to take tefillin off because it's not a place to robe people are naked. They don't know it, but you don't put it back on because not a place where robe people are dressed. And obviously, the robe here is not precise. It means the derech of bnei adam, right? There's no clear-cut majority in either direction. So you don't take them to them there, but else ain't no saying. You don't put them on. And you don't put them back on. Like we said before, yesterday with Daf Chafal, that when you come out, you're more machmir. You don't put them on right away where the balonim are. You have to wait till you leave the entire base of mechutz. The Messiah, we quote what we said in Daf Chafal. Kai the Marav Yitzchak, like Rabbi Yitzchak, became the Rabbi Yochanan had Yaakov to Musa. He would not put them on until he got to the place of Yaakov to Musa. Rabbi Yirmiyah boikum Rabbi Zira. Rabbi Yirmiyah answered for Rabbi Zira. It's a place where they used as bathhouse in the summer and not in the winter. I guess it was too expensive to heat up. Amarle merchatz. He says it still has a chalei shem merchatz. Not being, even though it's not being used now as a merchatz. Similarly, ubeis akise, a bathroom, ava b'shem botzah. Even though it doesn't have excrement, they still have the shame, and therefore it's a kanai. It's inappropriate to put on filling over there. Ma'ukva Amar Hein Chazira base Kilte Kise Metoltalu. A pig is like a moving bathroom, moving toilet, because his mouth is all repugnant with all the stuff which he consumes. Pigs do not differentiate what they consume, so they are repugnant like a walking bathroom. Rabbi Yonah Boy, asked, so Charedim says, Refish v'tit masriach, you have repugnant, smelly, mud and muck, which is polyam aswesa, which is sea tossed up on its bank. Maushinido console because less because there's a considered like excrement that you can't read opposite this muck and mire. So Rabbi Ami Asya, the Rabbi Ami Asya, which means Rabbi Ami the doctor, said, "Her Rabbi Yirmiyah said taught Marvele Bepilius." He says in the Charedim Perish Ba'orach Mitpachas, Klomar Im Kore Kenegdo Tzor Chasosim Mitpachas Kiyotziba. You have to cover it up. You can't read when it's directly exposed upon you. The Los Chino Lave, so Los Chino Lave sounds like we don't rely on that. Heter, it says very differently. It says, if it's behind you so you can't see it, like a samuchlo. Nevertheless, don't read right behind. Now, coming that's amos mechar. You have this yourself, even if it's behind it, 4 amos. So, and the samuchlo does not mean like it's that usually means. It means here that don't even if it's behind you can't see it, you have to distance yourself from there. And that Moshe learns the conventional way. He says, "Lo samchina leid Rabbi Yirmiyah barazu." You don't rely on Rabbi Yirmiyah in this what he said here. Okay, so the very different interpretations, of course. Rabbi Zir Shem Rabbi Abba Bar Yirmiyah Shem Rabbi Yirmiyah Ocha Ben Achilas Arai. You can even fill in a snack, but not a formal meal. Yoshim Shem Sarai. You can sleep in them a short nap. But not a full sleep, which usually is taking me more than half an hour. Israel Baruch Pam Achas. Those who say break a bracha once, Iskani Pamin. Those who say bracha several times. Madamar, and here the name Moshe changes around Pam Achas Pamim and vice versa. Madamar Pamim Nicha. He says it's several times. Okay, that makes sense. Madamar Mavorech Pam Achas. He says one time Ha'achal V'inani Lave. His way since learning it is that if you only can make a bracha one time, because it's not going to take him off while he's eating. So how can you say? So what's going to be? Because ozatina and machilas keva. How do we reconcile wearing them? They only make one bracha with the fact that you're supposed to take them off when you're eating. The presumption being that if you'll take them off when you're eating, so therefore you should make a bracha when you put them back on. So Gemara answers, Rabbi Zir, Kaima Abba Bar Yirmiyah, explained that the Baruch about Achilas Arai. You're only snacking the whole day. In other words, if you take it off for Kusudas Kva, you have to when you put it back on, you have to make a new bracha. We're talking about where you're only eating Achilas Arai the entire day, you're only snacking, and then so snacking, you don't have to make a new bracha. That's there is a that is taken actually from the Stipler. I don't think the Moshe is substantially different. It doesn't particularly absorbing the whole day, but it's basically very similar. Okay. Rabbi Zir Shem Rabbi Abba Leikas on Beis Hamayim B'Svara B'Tfila B'Yadav. A person should not go into Beis Hamayim, which is according to the most place where people urinate, not defecate. So it's a less tamei, less disgusting. You still should go there holding on to your svarim and your tefillin. Rabbi Yochanan could have a sefer b'yadei. Rabbi Yochanan, when he had a sefer in his hands, Rabbi Yoav le'charon. He would give it to somebody else. But tefillin b'yadei, when he was wearing tefillin, have a claim by him. He would remain with the tefillin on. So seems so. What it says, Masnisa pliga Rabbi Abba Bar Yirmiyah. Mishnah seems sorry Rabbi Yirmiyah. It says Nifsa on the base on Berachos. The person go with the base on Berachos to swear to feel biyado. He can. I'm sorry, based on Mayim. Sorry, it says the person go to the base on Mayim and have his svarim and tefillin in his hands. I'm going to say Kimai Bar Yirmiyah. Rabbi Yirmiyah said, "Kam biyachol ulovshon, kam be'eno yachol ulovshon." Since Mishnah very much is a brisa, kam Rabbi Yirmiyah brisa the Mari biyachol ulovshon charka tiku shows bayom. You have still time to put them afterwards. Right? Come like as between biyadav, kain shows bayom bayom lotion. In other words, you can wear them, take them in your hands, as long as you need to do so in order to put on the tefillin when you leave. If you're not going to put them on when you leave, then you should not bring them into the base of merchot in your hands because it's superfluous. So the a lot of them first should speak about this. I don't think anything we have to see. Let's go on. So the Gemara is explaining that we're still in the middle of the answer. To lachein mitzvah lo avid bon, because since he's not going to do a mitzvah with them, lama vazi lo. Why should we degrade them by taking them into the bathhouse, into the place where people urinate? Okay, the Gra changes around the Girsa here. It says, and then it has Masisa Pligo Rabbi Abba Yirmiyah, Nichlas Adam. Then it says, why would you go in? Depends if you're going to put on again or not. And then it has Rabbi Yochanan have a Rabbi Yodei, then Rabbi Yochanan, it says, when it brings out what it said before about Rabbi Yochanan, that it brings down at the end of the sugya. What it said before, have a coin bone. Okay, now, and then we go on, according to everybody, to B'rishayna. B'rishayna, you know some of Chavrayim, you know them also Barchin. So I don't think they're such good friends. And evidently, following the precedent of Rabbi Yochanan, that's presumably why I moved it over here. So actually, he was explaining Rabbi Yochanan. He was saying that Rabbi Yochanan gave a sefer to his friends. Okay, they weren't because they weren't that valuable, and then they weren't interested in stealing it. But when they give the tefillin to the friends, so then they would really not great friends. They would take them and run away. So therefore, they decided, okay, we should put them in like cubbies next to the next to the base of mine. When the story happened, there's a story brought down the Bavli as well. That was Moshe as Ma'aseh Echad Sheniach Tefillin B'Chorah Mesmuchim, which is why I put in the cubby next to the rabbin. Zoyna Achas, and a prostitute came, and took them Basa Beis Hamedrash, Shein the Beis Medrash. Avram said, "Ru Anasi and plenty with schari." Look what so and so gave me as the wages of sin. Came Shama Satam Kachol Rosh Hagagron of a Mason. Once Tom heard this, he went up to the top of the roof and fell off and died. So therefore, they Kino She Adam Nichlas Ve'Em Biyado. They made it that the person come in holding on to this film, which is why Rabbi Yochanan did what he did. Rabbi Yaakov Bar Achab Shem Rabbi Zira Omar V'Ushiyeh B'Yom Kedei L'Loivshon. As he said before, that's enough time in the day left in order to put them back on. And maybe Yom Kedei L'Loivshon, if there's not enough time to put them back on, also it's written in the Chem Mitzvah L'Ovid. He's not going to do a mitzvah afterwards. Lamu Mevazi Lon. Why should you mevaz them, degrade them, bring the base of mine? So, in other words, you're going to bring it into your hands when you are actually going to then possibly use it in order to do the mitzvah. It says Gemara, Maisha bar braid Rabbi Yerushalmi Levi Omar. He said, Man the Ava Tavus. Oh, somebody wants to do the best possible thing. Here, mitzvah. Osam Kishel Tefach. He makes them a sack, which is a Tefach. So it's a significant internal dimensions. So it's like a definite hefsek. V'nosan libo, and puts them onto his heart. L'kayim matam. What's right? What? Plus he says shivisi Hashem l'negdi tomid. So shivisi Hashem l'negdi tomid means I have kaviyachol kodesh baruch hu. In the tefillin, I have it opposite my heart. I think the tefach here comes to the tefach of which stops tuma ritzutza from being bokeh of oil. It's arrests the tuma which would rise from a mace all the way up to shamayim. So we see a tefach as a chashivas, a significance, kind of like an oel for the purpose of stopping tuma. Here it's like an oel for the purpose of distinguishing between the environment which are tummy and the tefillin itself. Okay, Talmud Amim, we said over there, kol she'eni lo yubosh tefillin. The person has to have a guf navi like Elisha Baal Knafayim in order to put on tefillin. Otherwise, he shouldn't put on the tefillin. We already mentioned that before. And this is exactly the end of the Amud, so we will stop here.